the Blacksburg Super Regional with Virginia Tech 4 seed overall getting taken down by an extremely hot Oklahoma team, and they stay hot throughout the entire postseason and especially in the Super Regional. And they took down one of the most consistent teams all year. Besides Game 2 of the series, the Oklahoma pitching staff was pretty much silenced one of the best offenses in the country. And especially looking at Game 3 where Cade Horton threw 6 innings, only giving up 2 runs off 2 hits. And those were the only hits that Virginia Tech had all game. So it was a tough way to go out for Virginia Tech. Felt like they got some momentum from Game 2 back from Oklahoma, but just got completely shut down by Cade Horton and the rest of the pitching staff.
Yeah, I mean, like you already said, this was just an incredible performance from the Oklahoma pitching staff. Like you mentioned, Virginia Tech was one of the top offenses in the country this year, might be number 2 behind Tennessee. And for Oklahoma to go in there and hold them to 4 runs in the first game and then 2 in the final Game 3 there, that was just crazy impressive. I thought going into Game 3, I thought it was going to be one of those 12-10 type score lines. I thought there was for sure going to be 20 plus runs scored in that game, but the Oklahoma pitching staff showed out and Oklahoma stays hot, have not lost a series since early May, I believe. Yeah, it's just crazy impressive stuff from them. They're extremely hot and playing very well.
Yeah, and this is a pitching staff that sits with the worst ERA going into the College World Series with around a 5.4. So they have pitched completely different than their stats say, and they're riding that all the way with Oklahoma, especially Cade Horton showing up. He did it in the conference tournament against Texas in the final. Had an amazing game. Same goes for the regionals. Even though they lost the game he pitched in, I think he only gave up a few runs in that one too. So he's really solidifying like that 3rd spot for Oklahoma, and that is huge for a team that didn't have the best pitching staff all year round. But yeah, like you said, it's been like 2 months since Oklahoma has lost a weekend series. And in that time, they won the conference tournament, won the regionals, won the super regionals. So they've proven themselves to be a team to definitely be scared of. And the teams that they'll be facing in the College World Series is number 5 seed Texas A&M, who beat number 12 seed Louisville. Texas A&M is one of the only teams that has pretty much gone chalk throughout the tournament. So many upsets, but Texas A&M, one of the only teams that hasn't lost yet, one of the 2 teams, them and Ole Miss. But between them and Louisville, both games were so close, and Texas A&M was fortunately able to win both of them. The first ended on a walk-off by Troy Claunch, and the second, very close game. Louisville probably should have won it with their discrepancy in hits. Louisville had just so many more and just stranded so many runners that they had 13 hits, only scored 3 runs. You can't expect to win if that's your ratio. And the Texas A&M pitching staff, you really just got to tip your hats to them. They got out of a lot of jams, especially Jacob Palish came in clutch, ending both games for them. And looking at those 2 players that I mentioned, both 2 former Pac-12 players and now stars on Texas A&M, so they've done really well in the transfer portal to get these players that fill the roles that they need. And Texas A&M still has not lost a game, and they're heading to the College World Series.
Yeah, even though this was a 2-0 sweep, it might have been one of the most entertaining series of the weekend, with both games just being super tight contests. It seemed like this whole weekend in College Station, there was runners in scoring position just every second, and neither team really executed very well and would leave them stranded or only bring in 1 or 2 runs at a time. But it made for an intense weekend with those pitching staffs having to have a lot of high-intensity pitches, high-intensity situations. And yeah, that was just on the edge of your seat the whole time due to how close these games were. Impressive stuff from A&M, like you mentioned, have not lost a game yet in the postseason. They just keep on winning, similar to Oklahoma, who they will be facing. That is a great round one matchup there. I'm very excited to see who comes out of that one.
Yeah, and all these round one matchups are just action packed. It seems like anything could happen. No real underdogs, no real favorites, but any team at this point has proven that they're a top dog and is one of the hottest teams in the country to get to this point. So any of these teams can continue their run and win the whole thing. There really isn't a favorite, especially with Tennessee no longer in it. Thank you for watching and listening. If you enjoyed, we would really appreciate a like and subscribe for more weekly college baseball content.